arrived here this evening to celebrate with the inaugural lecturer. I have the honor of introducing Professor Olufemi Durosaro and his beautiful wife, Professor Mrs. Irene Abiodun Durosaro. You are welcome. Thank you very much. Professor Durosaro was the pioneer dean of the Faculty of Education of this great university at a time when the program operated in our Igbaja campus. So many of those in that faculty today may not be aware of this, so it is important that we appreciate the efforts of Professor Durosaro and his wife in establishing that faculty and in ensuring that, the program continues smoothly. Thank you once again, Professor. We're really glad to have you here with us. I can also see Professor Hakeem Ijaya of the Faculty of Law seated here this evening. Prof, you are welcome, sir. Also, from the Faculty of Education, the youngest old man professor, Professor Olorun Dari, you are welcome, sir. Also, the head of the Department of History and International Studies, Professor T.S. Abejide, you are welcome, sir. I can also see the head of the Department of Pole Science and Public Administration, Dr. Saka, you are welcome, sir. I think earlier I saw the Dean of the Faculty of Law, Professor Etisheu. Where is Professor Etisheu? He's not here. Okay. As soon as I have the lists of some of our very distinguished professors and members of the academia, I will do the introduction appropriately. But just to give us a brief of the history of inaugural lectures here in Al-Hikmah University, it is instructive to note that the maiden inaugural lecture was delivered by no less a distinguished personality than the current Vice Chancellor of this great university, Professor Lateef Folorunsho Oladimeji, FCIPM, of the Department of Islamic Studies and Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences. And following in his footsteps, we had another professor from the same faculty, but of the Department of History and International Relations, who currently is the Dean of Postgraduate School, Professor Adesina Olumide Yusuf Raji. He delivered the second inaugural lecture. And as if that was not enough, from the Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences, which of course was the foundational faculty here in Al-Hikmah University at inception, we also had the third, from the Faculty of Law, the first professor to deliver inaugural lecture from that faculty, Professor Ajepe Taiwo Shehu, the current Dean of the Faculty of Law. And the fourth lecture, again, went back to the Faculty of Humanities. We had Professor Shoaib Ologele Asayuti Ndarabi of the Arabic units of the Arabic unit of the Language Department of Humanities Faculty. And following his footsteps, we had the fifth lecture delivered by Professor Qasim Badmasi, also of the Arabic units of the Language Department. And the sixth lecture was delivered by the first female professor of this great university and the first inaugural lecturer from the Faculty of Management Sciences, Professor Mariam Aremo. And today we're glad to have the first lecturer from the Faculty of Education to deliver the 7th inaugural lecture. May I also welcome to our midst one of our teachers, the former Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic of the University of Ilorin and the pioneer Vice Chancellor of the University of Ofa, Professor R.A. Lawal. You are welcome, sir. Professor Rahim Adebayo Lawal, you are welcome.
Stood as a beacon of knowledge, innovation, and excellence. Join us as we journey through the institution's inspiring history, its remarkable growth, and its promising future.
Al-Hikmah University, the 20th anniversary. Al-Hikmah University, the 20th anniversary.
Al-Hikmah University began as a vision of one man, a dream rooted in a commitment to provide quality education while embracing Islamic values. It was the culmination of years of hard work, determination, and a relentless pursuit of academic excellence.
Ilẹ̀ fátìrì plastic ni mo fẹ́ ṣe síbẹ̀ bàtí a rí pé àsìkò àṣìṣe fátìrì yẹn tó máa lọ múra mo lọ ṣàdúrà máa mú inú àwọn ẹ̀bùn tó lọ ń bùn mi lọ́mọ mo mú dání àkí àsùpá àtàláàrọ̀ lọ́kàn olóró wà ní ẹrú ọlọ́run tó jọmọ mi wá sọ fún mi pé kí n má dá fátìrì plastic ilẹ̀ pé bí ẹ̀kọ́ tó ti máa kéwú tó máa kàwé kí n dálẹ̀ òwò mi létí torí pé oníṣòwò ni mí pé èlò lélẹ́yìn ìtọ́wí mi ò sọ fún o mo sáà ronú náà ni mo ní mo gbọ́ pàtó di jókèjì mo á fún létí pé pẹ̀lú ògùn ọlọ́run nítorí ọ̀fẹ́ ti wà lọ́kàn mi náà láàásì.
Just Mustafa Kabi called me and I want to put this on record. He said, Oladimeji, in our environment, it's not the richest. Oladimeji is not educated, whether in the Western sense or the Eastern sense. Why did God choose him to pioneer Islamic faith-based university? God has a reason for identifying Oladimeji and choosing him. That he, Justice Akabi, wants to serve God through him. That was why he agreed to be chairman BOT. When he told me that, I just agreed immediately that if this man can be saying this, who am I?
Bàtà wá dé láti múra yẹn àwọn ẹ̀gbọ́n yẹn ti wá kó gbogbo oníṣẹ́ dé àti fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ mọ ajé àárọ̀ tó ń bá pọ̀ ẹ̀kọ́ tó. Mi ò ní ṣe industry plastic mo dá gbogbo wọn padà. Àwọn irinṣẹ́ pàtì tó ti dé àdápadà sí Frank. Ọ̀yẹ̀ wọn bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọn àti lè bí wá báwo la ẹgbẹ́ ṣe education ta ni mo fẹ́ kó jọ nínú family tí mo ní nípa education àpò púpọ̀. Ẹlòmíràn máa ń béèrè pé kí ni mo ní mo fẹ́ dálẹ̀ mo ní mo fẹ́ dá ilé ẹ̀kọ́ lẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ lórí secondary lórí primary àbá fóònù mẹ́gbọ́ bẹ̀ bọ́lọ̀ bá láàdé university ṣùgbọ́n university ló wù mí àná báwo ni university lè possible nígbà tẹ́mi ò ní tíṣà mo ní ọlọ́run wà.
I was the lawyer. I did the agreement of transfer of all his landed assets and some other assets, including cars, to the university to start. So he contributed more than 80% of his God-given assets to that.
Ọgbà tí kíní wa bẹ̀rẹ̀ ọlọ́run wa mú àwọn èèyàn wá lóríṣiríṣiríṣiríṣi a bẹ̀rẹ̀ wẹ́rẹ́wẹ́rẹ́ kì í sàní kí mọ̀lá kọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀.
Ibrahim Oladimeji Islamic Foundation apply to establish a university, we will recollect that before applying to become a university, in that same premises, there is Ibrahim Oladimeji College of Islamic Sciences. So that college was existing. So they used the facility, the physical facility there to apply for license to run the university.
The idea actually is to realize the dream, the ultimate dream of the founder of Al-Hikmah University. Chief Ibrahim Oladimeji has a vision of assisting the less privileged students. He has a program that is always taking care of bursary and scholarship of students, not only here in Kwara State, but many universities in Nigeria. So his ultimate dream can then be realized if this college, this Ibrahim College of Higher Islamic Sciences, can be upgraded to a university. Fortunately, it was at that period that General Olusegun Obasanjo, as the president of Nigeria, thrown open the door for liberalization and privatization of education in Nigeria. In other words, that was the time they allowed private initiatives to establish university.
After a lot of hassles going up and down, Al-Hikmah University was given license in January 7, 2005.
With the foundation laid by our founder, Alhaji Chief Dr. Abdurrahim Oladimeji, OFR, Al-Hikmah University garnered recognition for its ability to merge traditional wisdom with modern academic practices.
With the setup, the steering committee also got transformed to implementation committee. This committee, headed by Professor Musbah Akajin, set machineries in motion for staff recruitment into academic and non-teaching positions.
It's not easy to set up an institution and then within such a very short period, it has attained so much development, so much, achievements within the short time.
The journey was not without its challenges. From securing funding to building infrastructure, the early years tested the resilience and determination of its pioneers.
Parents having confidence in an Islamic organization establishing a university, especially when you know that the proprietor, the founder of the university, had no education. So we had that apprehension.
ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ kan láti tà, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ kan ni mo ti gbé tà. Mo nílé ní pipeline yẹn ó ní iye tí mo ní bẹ́ẹ̀, mo ta gbogbo ẹ̀ ní torí ọ̀rọ̀ Al-Hikmah.
You must start a university in 3 years, otherwise this license will be suspended. Even if not cancelled, you have to go through processes again before you are licensed. So we were desperate. The BOT then, headed by the late Honorable Justice Mustafa Kambi, insisted that we have to start 2005-2006 session. So we advertised. We could not get adequate number of students.
As the head of department, the time we were taking off this university, I had only 2 students in Islamic studies because we had just 70 students that started the entire university when we were taking off.
We had it very rough in the beginning, very, very rough. And that was because we were just starting at that time. We didn't know, much about our existence. And then we were particular in making sure that we have an Islamic university. So a lot of things were done, not too good at that time. But fortunately, we are able to redress those issues. We are able to correct them. And that is the Al-Hikmah you are seeing today.
Because it is the first Islamic faith-based university, we must give this background to let people appreciate the problem we had. Another problem we had at the beginning, we inherited assets and liabilities of Ibrahim Oladimeji College of Islamic Sciences. The lecturers there are Arabic and Islamic studies. Most of them trained outside Nigeria, they can speak only Arabic. They cannot speak English to teach. Our plan as management was to start on a clean sheet They said we should not sack anybody. I hired late Dr. Malosho to come and do lesson for our experts. They have PhD, but they cannot speak English. They sparked. They refused. Me with PhD. Some of them refused. How do we solve this? We told them, if you refuse, then we have to go, because this is a conventional university. In order to allay their fear that they are not inferior, I now instituted a program where those of us, including myself, the Vice Chancellor, who cannot speak Arabic, to be learning Arabic. So we organized lesson, and Dr. Bilal was appointed to be teaching us Arabic. And I made
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in the next few minutes, the procession of the Vice Chancellor will be making its way into the hall, and at that point, I will demand that we all rise to welcome the procession. Meanwhile, I would like to invite the acting head of the Department of Art and Social Sciences Education, Dr. Abdulgani I.S. Owoyale, to lead us in the opening prayer.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. All praise, glorification, and adoration are due to Almighty Allah, our Creator, the Creator of the heaven and the earth. We thank Him for today. We glorify Him. We thank Him for the life of our founder, our Vice Chancellor, all the principal, all professors here present. And specifically, we thank Him for the life of today's lecturer, inaugural lecturer, the person of Professor O.P. AKINNUBI. May Almighty Allah guide his tongue. May Almighty Allah make his brain settle and make today's inaugural lecture a successful one for him and for the Faculty of Education in general. We pray Almighty Allah for all visitors here present today, that as you reach here with sand earth, Almighty Allah return every one of you back home safely. And we pray that today, inaugural lecture should be the one Yoruba we call Abiyama, that we give birth to another child, inshallah, very soon. So I will employ every one of us to recite Surah Al-Fatiha for the opening of the event. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladhina an'amta alayhim. Ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Amin.
Thank you very much. I now invite Madam Suleiman Muhammad Al-Awwal to give us a short recitation from the Quran.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن أصحاب الجنة اليوم في شغل فاكهون. هم وأزواجهم في ظلال على الأرائك متكئون لهم فيها فاكهة ولهم ما يدعون سلام قولا من رب رحيم وامتازوا اليوم أيها المجرمون ألم أعهد إليكم يا بني آدم ألا تعبدوا الشيطان إنه لكم عدو مبين وأن اعبدوني هذا صراط مستقيم صدق الله العظيم.
الله أكبر. جزا الله القارئ وإيانا جميعا خير الجزاء. The procession of the Vice Chancellor was led by the Deputy Registrar Academics, Mr. S.A. Senkai, and also in the procession of the faculty, Oladimeji, and other deans. Without further ado, we now have the national teams. Chancellor, officers, heads of departments, distinguished members of staff, of today's lecturer, ladies and gentlemen. It is with a deep sense of pride that we are gathered here for the moment of the 7th inaugural lecture, first Islamic faith-based university, Al-Hikmah University, Ilorin. The inaugural lecture is, by tradition, academic ceremony in the university. Both evocative and instructive, taming the elephants, inclusive university education management for maximum efficiency. The metaphor of the elephant is quite striking. The elephant by nature is gigantic, powerful, and indispensable, yet without skillful, deliberate, and compassionate guidance, its very size can become its greatest undoing and the undoing of all around it. So too with the modern university, a great institution, rich in purpose and potential, but one that demands thoughtful stewardship if it is to serve all shelter beneath its canopy. And in an era when universities, not only across Nigeria, but the world all over, by the of access and diminishing resources, the question of inclusive and efficient management is no longer a luxury of academic discourse. It is an urgent imperative. How do we ensure that the university remains a place where every student, regardless of background, ability, or circumstance, can find a seat at the table of learning? How do we manage complexity without compromising equity? And how do we not only also of high standards? These and other questions are what today's lecturer has spent considerable time and energy in answering, and we are honored to have the results of that noble endeavor. Without further ado, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I now invite the Vice Chancellor, Professor L.F. Oladimeji, FCIP, to present the 7th inaugural lecture of this great university, the first from the Faculty of Education, Professor Olaoluwa Tumiya.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا وحبيبنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحابه وسلم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري وحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. The Deputy Vice Chancellor, the University Bossa, other principal officers of the university in absentia, the provosts and deans of various faculties, as well as directors, distinguished audience to the 7th inaugural lecture of Al-Hikmah University. I say to all of you, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It is my singular honor and privilege to preside over this 7th inaugural lecture, the first in the series of my administration as the 6th Vice Chancellor of Al-Hikmah University. And today I have the honor most humbly to invite the 7th inaugural lecturer, Professor Laolu Paul AKINNUBI, to please rise while I take his citation. Thank you. Thank you. Professor Paul Olaolu AKINNUBI was born on the 23rd of April, 1979 in Ondo Town, Ondo West local government area of Ondo State. He attended Emmanuel Anglican Primary School, Ondo State from 1985 to 1990. He proceeded to St. Andrew's Anglican Grammar School, Ondo, Iletuo Dibo Junior and Senior Secondary High School, Abule-Oja, Yaba in Lagos, and Community Secondary School, Gomo, Ilorin, Kwara State, where he completed secondary education between 1991 and 1998. Professor Paul attended Kwara State Polytechnic, Ilorin, from 1998 to 1999 for his A-level IJMB program. He later enrolled at Kwara State College of Education, Ilorin, from 2000 to 2001, where he obtained a diploma in computer science. He gained admission into the University of Ilorin, where he obtained a Bachelor of Education degree in Educational Management between 2001 and 2003. Following his undergraduate studies, he participated in the mandatory one-year National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, degree at Community Secondary School, Gaidam, Yobe State, from 2003 to 2004. He subsequently returned to the University of Ilorin, where he earned a Master of Education, MEd, degree in Educational Management between 2004 and 2007, and later a Doctor of Philosophy, PhD, in Educational Management from 2007 to 2011. In further pursuit of academic and spiritual development, Professor Paul Olaolu AKINNUBI attended and was able to complete his at the Evangelical Church Equa Theological Seminary, Ibaja, Kwara State, from 2014 to 2016, where he obtained postgraduate diploma in theology. Professor AKINNUBI joined the service of Al-Hikmah University in 2011 as lecturer 2 from 2018 to 2024. He also served as the editor-in-chief of the Al-Hikmah Journal of Education, AJE, from 2018 to 2024. He is a member of the Nigerian Association for Educational Administration and Planning, NAEAP, and the Teachers Registration Council, TRCN. Professor Paul AKINNUBI has a strong passion for research in the field of educational management, with over 80 publications
in reputable journals. In reputable local, national, and international journals, as well as edited conference proceedings and books chapters. He has presented papers at both national and international conferences. His research interests include school efficiency, information and communication technology (ICT) in education, education policy analysis, and human resource management (HRM), to mention but few. He is proficient in the use of computers and other ICT tools. Professor AKINNUBI has held several administrative and academic positions within the university, including Faculty Examination Officer 2011 to 2014, Faculty Teaching Practice Coordinator 2012 to 2014, Member of the University Timetable Committee 2011 to 2018, and Member of the Best Researcher of the Year Committee 2013 to 2016. Professor AKINNUBI served as chairman, AROIF, that is Abdurrahim Oladimiji Islamic Foundation College of Advanced Studies Curriculum Planning Committee in the year 2013. He was pioneer director, Center for Diploma and JUPEP Studies, 2016 to 2020, chairman, Al-Hikmah University International School Establishment Committee, 2021, and member, Staff Disciplinary Committee, 2021, member, Convocation Ceremonial Committee, 2014 to 2026, and member, Academic Planning Program Committee, 2016 to 2024. Professor AKINNUBI served as a consultant to the Kwara State Government on capacity building for quality assurance officers in the field of education and the Kwara State Civil Service in 2014. He has also served and continued to serve as an external examiner to several institutions, including the Department of Educational Foundations, Kwara State College of Education, Ilorin, UNICAF University, Cyprus, where he has examined 5 PhD programs, and the Department of Education Management, Kwara State University, Malete, the University of Ilorin, the Federal University, Gusau, in Zamfara State, and the National Open University now, as well as the National Teachers Institute, NTI, where he also served as the PGD coordinator, among others. He is the current chairman of the Nigerian Association for Educational and Administration and Planning, NAEAP, Kwara State Chapter. He has successfully supervised several undergraduate projects, 40 master dissertations, and 25 PhD theses in educational management. He recently completed a 1-year sabbatical leave at Adekunle Ajasin University, Akungba Akoko, Ondo State. Professor Paul AKINNUBI is married with children. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor most humbly to present to you the 7th inaugural lecturer, Professor Paul Olaolu AKINNUBI, to deliver the 7th inaugural lecture of Al-Hikmah University. Professor AKINNUBI.
The founder, Alhaji Chief Dr. Abdurrahim Amau Oladimeji, OFR, FNEAP, FS, PS, Aṣíwájú of Igbómìnà Land, Arógundá of Lagos, Baba of founder University Ilorin, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, the Registrar and Secretary to Council, the Bossa, the Acting University Librarian of Education, Deans of other faculties, postgraduate school and student affairs, professors and other members of the University Senate, directors of units and centers, head of Department of Educational Management and Counseling, heads of other academic departments, members of the academic and non-academic staff, the Alhikma University alumni, our highly esteemed here present, distinguished students of the Department of Educational Management and Counseling, and the entire Alhikma University students, my lords, spiritual and temporal, my dear wife, other members of my family, gentlemen of the press, distinguished guests, and gentlemen. I give glory to Almighty God, the Alpha and Omega, for keeping me alive today. May his name be glorified. I want to sincerely thank the Vice Chancellor, Professor Lateef Oladimeji, for giving me the opportunity to stand before this distinguished audience to present my inaugural lecture. I equally want to thank the founder of Al-Hikmah University, Alhaji Chief Ibrahim Amao Oladimeji, for his contribution to the development of the university. May he live long to enjoy the good things of this life and the hereafter. Amen. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, inaugural lecture represents a formal procedure that provides opportunity for accomplished academics to share their research experiences with multivarious stakeholders in the academic world and beyond. It offers newly appointed professors the opportunity to share their knowledge, discoveries, and even personal journeys in their respective field with the public at large and the university community in particular. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, this is the first inaugural lecture to be delivered in the Department of Educational Management and Counseling by the first lecturer appointed by Professor Sulaiman Abdulkarim Age, the then Vice Chancellor, in November 2011, to kickstart educational management program in the university. Also, I was the first head, Department of Educational Management and Counseling. It is also worthy to note that this is the first inaugural lecture in the Faculty of Education and the seventh in Al-Hikmah University, Ilorin, Kwara State, Nigeria. All glory belongs to my creator. I want to acknowledge the earlier 6 inaugural lecturers for setting the pace for me to follow. They are Professors Lateef Oladimeji, Adeshina O. Yusuf Raji, Ashauti Shuhaib Olugele, Ajapetaye Shehu, Kazim Badamasi, and Mariam Adeyemi Aremu. You all serve as sources of inspiration to me to come up with my inaugural lecture within the few years of my appointment as a professor of educational management. The choice of this inaugural lecture titled Taming the Elephant, Inclusive University Educational Management for Maximum Efficiency was born out of my passion to ensure that quality graduates are produced by the university system while strictly adhering to administrative procedures in the course of my teaching, research, and community service in the university system over a decade now. The university is metaphorically represented as the elephant, which must be tamed, that is, controlled, so that its immense potential is actualized. The inclusive university educational management for maximum efficiency represents the collective effort of all stakeholders in the education sector, working together to ensure that university education in Nigeria meets the highest standard. It emphasizes the importance of creating systems and processes that maximize productivity and effectiveness in education, ensuring that resources are used wisely and that the educational outcome justify the investment made. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, inefficiency, a situation in which the output fails to justify the input, continues to be a significant obstacle to the progress of university education in Nigeria. It is no surprise that only 2 Nigerian universities are ranked among the top 1,000 globally. Many of our graduates underperform in the industry and other sectors of the economy, raising public concern about the quality of education they receive during their university years. AKINNUBI and Sule 2013, Times Higher Education World University Ranking 2026. Therefore, addressing efficiency through a focus on inclusive university educational management for maximum efficiency is essential for achieving the desired standard in Nigerian university education. My educational journey commenced at Emmanuel Anglican Primary School in Ondo State, where I built a solid foundation for my academic pursuit from 1985 to 1990. After completing my primary school, I advanced to St. Andrew's Anglican Grammar School, Ondo, Eletu Odibo Junior and High School, Abule Oja, Yaba, Lagos, and eventually completed my secondary education at Community Secondary School, Gama, Ilorin, Kwara State, between 1991 and 1998. During these formative years, I developed essential skills and knowledge that serve as the cornerstone of my academic achievements. Eager to further my education, I enrolled at Kwara State Polytechnic, Ilorin, in 1998, where I successfully completed the A-level by 1999. I then attended Kwara State College of Education, Ilorin, from 2000 to 2001, earning a diploma in computer science, which provided me with specialized technical skill. My academic continued at the University of Ilorin, where I undertook a rigorous academic program. Between 2001 and 2003, I earned my first degree in educational management, gaining a deep understanding of the field. Driven by a commitment to academic excellence, I returned from 2004 to 2005 to a second degree in educational management. Further expand my academic horizon. At the same university from 2007 to 2011, which further enhanced my expertise and knowledge in educational management. In my quest to deepen my theological understanding and I attended Evangelical Theological Seminary in Igbaja, Kwara State, from 2014 to 2016. This experience provided me with a robust theological education, equipping me with the skills and knowledge necessary for effective spiritual leadership and service in addition to my academic qualifications. Society depends on institutions of learning to produce well-meaning individuals who can fit properly into the environment. The education industry, like the industrial sector, needs human, material, and financial resources for production to take place. Universities, as the highest education institutions, are statutorily charged with the responsibility of producing high-level manpower. In fact, many secondary education graduates struggle to gain admission into universities. This depicts that perhaps people have realized the importance of university education as a means of social mobility, self-development, and self-actualization. This probably explains why Metala 2005 argued that there seems to be a general perception among Nigerians that only university degree can promise a good future. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, learning at the university level could be described as being efficient if it results in the expected transformation in the attitudes, skills, and knowledge of the recipient, student, over a period of time. Moreover, efficient learning should result in producing graduates who are adequately informed, technically equipped, and morally prepared to become productive workers, self-reliant entrepreneurs, responsible parents, good citizens, and selfless leaders. AKINNUBI 2010. AKINNUBI 2010 view efficiency as operations of an organization relating to avoidance of wastages through judicious use of resources that are available at a given time. It is the quality of doing things well with no waste of time or resources. Efficiency in the university could help to reduce wastage of the available resources, which in turn could help the university to achieve their goals. The Nigerian university system, like most other sectors of the economy, has borne the full brunt of the continued economic crisis in the country. This has manifested in deteriorating teaching and learning facilities, incidents of brain drain, and general instability, which together have threatened the maintenance of quality in terms of efficient resource utilization at the institutions and sometimes their survival. Thus, a dire need of inclusive university education management for maximum efficiency is paramount. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, I heard educational management for the first time from Mr. Shagaya Abdulaziz at the admissions office, University of Ilorin in the year 2000. When he asked me if I would like to study educational management with option in accounting, since I could not secure admission into BSc accounting despite my 12 points in the IGMBA level exam and 9 credits at one sitting in the West African Senior School Certificate examination, I gladly accepted, and my name came out on the merit list. Without hesitation, I informed my eldest brother, late Mr. AKINNUBI Olawale, sponsoring my education after the demise of my father at age 6, barely few months after my enrollment into primary 1. He was very happy and prayed I succeed in the choosing career. Based on my exposure to concepts in educational management, during my undergraduate days, I made up my mind to further my education in educational management up to the PhD level. With the help of God, my passion for educational management made me to purchase textbooks needed for my master's and PhD programs while I was still an undergraduate student, with the kind assistance of Professor Nike Yetunde Sidika Tijaya, the then head of department. The Vice Chancellor, sir, distinguished audience, with the help of God and the support of my teachers and my brother, Mr. AKINNUBI Peter Bayode, I successfully completed my B.Ed, M.Ed, and PhD degrees in educational management in the year 2003, 2007, and 2011, respectively. Of course, all work without play made Jack a dull boy. I was actively involved in school politics, where I served as the Treasurer of Educational Management Student Association, MSAL, in the year 2002, and President of the same association in the year 2003. I also served as the Assistant Secretary of the University of Ilorin Postgraduate Student Association in the year 2006. My participation in the National Association for Educational Administration and Planning, NAIPS, annual conferences propelled me to continue to explore the field of educational management, where I have published over 80 academic articles in reputable local, national, and international outlets. I have also presented academic papers in the field of educational management within and outside the country. My specialization is educational planning, with specific interest in efficiency in school system. Educational management is a field which is concerned with the operations of educational institutions. It is the process of planning, organizing, and directing activities in a school, effectively utilizing human and material resources in order to accomplish the school objectives. It involves optimal utilization of available resources, personnel, facilities, money, and time in the education sector in order to attain predetermined goals and objectives at a given point in time. AKINNUBI 2014. It requires concerted efforts by all the stakeholders in the education sector to ensure that teaching and learning objectives of the school are attained at efficient cost. Educational management is an applied field of management, which is the application of theory and practice of management to the field of education or educational institutions. It is a process which is based on resource management to reach productive It was also to the people involved and the profession. AKINNUBI and AKINNUBI 2014 noted that educational management encompasses administering the curriculum, teaching, discipline, assessment, testing and examination, resource allocation, costing and forward planning, staff appraisal, relationship with community, use of practical skills, bargaining, communication, conflict handling, running of meetings, among others. The process of educational management consists of 3 basic functions, namely planning, implementing, and controlling. Educational manager use these functions to achieve institutional vision and mission. These functions are summarized in figures 1, 2, and 3. Mr. Conceptualizing the university as an elephant, the various aspects of university system and its characteristics are explored. Like an elephant, a university is vast and complex, comprising numerous departments, faculties, research centers, administrative offices, and student facilities, among others. Just as an elephant is made up of various body parts, each with its own function, a university consists of diverse components working together to fulfill its educational, research, and administrative missions. Similar to the strength and stability of an elephant, a university is a pillar of knowledge and learning in the society. It serves as a center for intellectual inquiry, critical thinking, and knowledge dissemination, providing a study foundation for the advancement of education, research, and innovation. An elephant is often regarded as a symbol of wisdom and experience due to its longevity and intelligence. Likewise, a university is a respiratory body of knowledge, expertise, and intellectual traditions accumulated over centuries. It embodies the collective wisdom of generations of scholars, researchers, and educators, Watson and all 2015. By viewing a university through the lens of an elephant, one can appreciate its complexity, strength, wisdom, and significance in shaping individuals, communities, and societies. Just as an elephant are referred and protected for their intrinsic value, universities are cherished as invaluable institutions that enrich human lives and advance the collective welfare of humanity. Unfortunately, the allegory of the 7 blind men who strive to understand the nature of the elephant is apt for capturing the common misunderstanding within and across several groups of stakeholders about the nature, purpose, and functions of the university system. The blind men conceive the elephant differently: a wall, a pillar, a big snake, a sharp spear, a large fan, and so on, depending on the part of the gigantic animal which their groping hands touched. Like these allegorical blind men, therefore, the conceptions of all interest groups and categories of stakeholders must be integrated and unified to inform a deep and comprehensive understanding of how the elephant of university education can be best tamed, managed, and administered for the benefit of all. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, I would like to take the distinguished audience seated here today through the memory lane of how university came into existence in Nigeria. The Elliott Commission of 1943 led to the establishment of University College, Ibadan, in 1948, and affiliate of the University of London. In April 1959, before independence, the federal government commissioned an inquiry known as the Ashby Commission to advise it on higher education needs. Ilorin, Jos, Sokoto, Meduguri, Port Harcourt, Adobare University, Kano, all known as second-generation universities. Furthermore, the third-generation universities established between 1980 and early 1990 are the Federal University of Technology in Owerri, Makurdi, Yola, Akure, and Bauchi, while the state universities were founded in Imo, Ondo, Lagos, Akwa Ibom, Oyo, and Cross River states. The fourth-generation universities are those from 1991 to date. They include more state universities, National Open University, and many private universities, JACA 2012. At present, there are 309 universities in Nigeria, comprising 74 federal, 67 state, and 168 private universities. National Universities Commission, December 2025. Table 1 and Figure 4 illustrate the aforementioned. As shown in Table 1 and Figure 4, private universities constitute the largest proportion, accounting for 168 institutions, that is 54%. This indicates significant private sector involvement in higher education, likely driven by increasing demand for university admission, limited public university capacity, and investment opportunities. To achieve the goals for the country through inclusive education management for maximum efficiency. Efficiency in the education sector is a situation where all stakeholders ensure that the school system is conducive for effective teaching and learning and do what is in line with the best global practices. AKINNUBI 2010. In the context of the Nigerian university system, it refers to the increasing emphasis on efficiency and productivity in academic institutions. It is an organizational mindset or approach that prioritizes efficiency, productivity, and streamlining processes above everything else. It implies a strong emphasis on optimizing administrative and academic processes to achieve specific goals, often related to resource utilization, effectiveness and performance indicators through collaborative efforts as illustrated in figure 5. The university is a system that must be supported by individuals' efforts, federal and state government, proprietors of private universities, the governing council, the principal officers, senate members, deans of faculties, heads of departments, level advisors, administrative staff, and students, among others, to efficiently achieve its mission and vision. AKINNUBI 2019. In Nigeria, today, management of universities is no longer completely in the hands of the principal officers and others. Rather, the parents of the students are on their toes in ensuring that available resources are efficiently utilized to achieve intended goals. Lower productivity and quality reduction. Inefficiency in the Nigerian universities manifest in various forms and hinder the optimal operation and performance of institutions. These can be explained in terms of bureaucratic red tape, underfunding and infrastructure deficits, understaffing, academic calendar disruption, quality assurance issues, corruption and nepotism, limited access to resources, and inadequate student support services. AKINNUBI 2010. According to AKINNUBI 2010, the National Universities Commission, NUC, set standards to ensure quality education in Nigerian universities by regulating student-teacher and staffing ratio. The recommended student-teacher ratio varies by discipline, with approximately 1 to 10 for medical and health sciences, 1 to 15 to 1 to 20 for engineering and sciences, 1 to 15 for agriculture, and 1 to 25 to 1 to 30 for arts, social sciences, and management sciences. In addition, the NUC prescribed a teaching to non-teaching staff ratio of 60 to 40, promoting a balanced workforce that prioritizes academic staff while maintaining adequate administrative support. However, this standard is not maintained in many Nigerian universities. Figure 6 depicts a typical Nigerian lecture room. Ajewole and AKINNUBI 2016 reported that inadequate funding is one of the major problems facing the administration of university in Nigeria. The budgetary allocation for the administration of university in Nigeria is not adequate to implement the program of these universities. Nigerian universities are thus grappling with a significant shortage of academic staff, exacerbated by a surge in lecturers leaving for opportunities abroad. Nigeria Bulletin, November 7, 2023. Disruptions in the academic calendar due to strikes, protests, or administrative issues are common in Nigerian universities. These disruptions lead to the extended academic years, delayed graduation timeline for students, and disruption to research activities and academic programs. Figure 7 shows a protest by academic staff on poor staff welfare. Inconsistencies in quality assurance mechanism undermines the quality, the credibility, and standard of Nigerian universities. Issues such as academic dishonesty and inadequate assessment practices compromise the quality of education and research outcomes. The constrained human and logistics capabilities of the NUC to adequately oversee 309 universities scattered across the city of political zone. AKINNUBI and Studio 2014 noted that compromise on the part of achieve desired outcome at any given point in time. Instances of corruption and nepotism within the university system contribute to inefficiency and unfair practices. These include mismanagement of funds and resources meant for academic and infrastructure development. AKINNUBI 2015. AC 2024 reported that corruption has penetrated educational institutions, especially the university system. The common form of corruption in most Nigerian universities include examination malpractice, writing a good remark, confidential report for a student or a staff that does not deserve it, contract inflation and variation, lobbying by non-academic staff to be posted to juicy department, placed in a juicy committee, giving more courses and larger classes, sycophancy, bribery, absenteeism, truancy, and padding of salaries. According to AKINNUBI 2010 and Moseja et al. 2024, unethical conduct pertaining to academics include plagiarism by staff and students, allow students who did not attend lectures to sit for examinations and have good grades in such courses, and lecturers not attending lectures as expected and not covering the course content, among others. All these amounts to inefficiency. Unequal access to resources, including research grants, library resources, and laboratory equipment, hinder the academic and research activities of faculties and students. AKINNUBI 2010 reported that inadequate provision of the necessary infrastructure and material resources, classrooms, lecture theaters, laboratories, studios, chemicals, etc., has resulted in the production of science graduates with inadequate laboratory experience and graduates in humanities who never read any literature beyond the lecture notes. In view of these interdependent contributions, it becomes evident that no single stakeholder can address the systemic challenges in isolation. There is a pressing need for synergy, collaboration, and accountability among all parties to enhance efficiency and restore stability within the university system. Such coordinated efforts are essential not only for improving academic standards and institutional performance, but also for preserving the health and wealth of the elephant, a metaphor for sustaining the strength, productivity, and long-term viability of the university system as a whole. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, my research areas in the field of educational management over a decade include school efficiency, information and communication technology, ICT in education, education policy analysis, school safety and peace, and entrepreneurship education, among others. These are examined in relation to the need to safeguard the efficiency and integrity of the Nigerian university system. I have successfully authored and co-authored over 30 papers on school efficiency in the field of educational management. Promoting efficiency in Nigerian education remains a sine qua non in achieving the goals of university education. AKINNUBI 2010 conducted a study on strategic plan implementation, resource utilization, and internal efficiency in Nigerian university. The finding of the study showed that there was a significant positive relationship among strategic plan implementation, resource utilization, and internal efficiency in Nigerian university. AKINNUBI and Oladimeji 2021 investigated the relationship between physical resource utilization and internal efficiency in Nigerian university. Their findings revealed that physical resources in Nigerian university were overutilized, with an average of 187%, 133%, and 160% for space utilization rate, SO, time utilization rate, TO, and global utilization rate, GO, respectively. Abdulkarim, Fasasi, and AKINNUBI 2011 examined the relationship between strategic plan implementation and internal efficiency in Nigeria University. The findings of the study revealed that there was a significant relationship between strategic plan implementation and internal efficiency in universities. Awodiji, Ijaya, and AKINNUBI 2020 investigated internal quality management, IQM, strategies of university in Kwara State, Nigeria, via a comparative approach. The finding revealed that IQM strategies were moderate at 61.9%. AKINNUBI and Alabi conducted a study on information and communication technologies for quality assurance of student services in University of Ilorin and Al-Hikmah University. The findings from the study show there were ICT facilities for quality assurance services in the institutions. Alabi and AKINNUBI investigated the ICT for the in London Central Nigeria University. The findings of the study revealed that printing ICT equipment were adequate, while electronic AKINNUBI 2020 examining lecturer perception of online teaching initiatives in Al-Hikmah University. The outcome of the findings is that the online teaching in the university include Zoom, WhatsApp, Telegram, and voice note. Findings also revealed that the challenges associated with problems, power out attitude. 2019 conducted a on policy implementation in private universities in Kwara State. The findings of the study show that student was ranked number with 98 points. The level of policy implementation was moderate with a mean of 2.61. Abraham and Ayoku 2023 safety policy for global achievement in Nigeria universities. The researchers suggested the use of effective safety management system SMS in the management of Nigerian universities. AKINNUBI and Taiwo 2013 conducted a study on tertiary education for peace and unity in selected Nigerian universities. The results indicated that economic factor was the major function of universities with 85, that is 57% points. Tertiary education in Nigeria moderately contributed to peace and unity with mean of 2.67 and 2.56 respectively. AKINNUBI 2014 investigating the role of security personnel in effective administration of tertiary education institutions in Kwara State. The findings of the study revealed that there was no significant difference between administrative staff and lecturer perception of the role of security personnel in effective administration of tertiary education institutions in Kwara State. AKINNUBI, Alabi, and Oladimeji 2021 conducted a study on students and management of deviant behaviors among university students in Kwara State, Nigeria. The findings of the study showed that examination malpractice was ranked the most prevalent deviant behavior among students in the universities. Adebayo and AKINNUBI 2025 conducted a study on leveraging on emerging technologies for security management by traditional rulers in highly volatile areas in Kwara State. The findings of the study revealed that proliferation of small arms and porous borders ranked highest as a major cause of insecurity. Adeoye, AKINNUBI, and Tiamiyu 2022 submitted that entrepreneurship education has been identified as a key driver of economic growth, job creation, innovation, and self-employment in Nigeria, where youth unemployment is high and the economy is struggling. Promoting entrepreneurship education among undergraduate students is essential. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, and distinguished audience, have successfully supervised several undergraduate projects, 20 PhD projects, 40 MA dissertation, and 25 PhD theses. These individuals have been having positive impact in the I was employed on November 1, 2011 to to commence educational management program in the Department of Educational Management, Faculty of Education, Al-Hikmah University, with 2 students, one in 100 level. The program now has about 300 students in both full-time and part-time. I served as the coordinator and later acting head of department for 6 consecutive years from 2011 to 2018. I was actively involved in the result verification of educational management program in the year 2013 by the National University Commission team. In 2015, university secured full accreditation in educational management program, and this achievement has been sustained till date. The department initially started at Adeta campus in Ilorin in the year 2011, moved to Ibadan campus in the year 2012, and later moved to Adeta, where we are now in the year 2020. While at Ibadan campus, the Ibadan community took Faculty of Education as project and provided an enabling environment that contributed greatly to the development of the faculty. I worked with other members in the department to secure approval to run postgraduate programs in educational management in the university in the year 2018. I was the faculty examination officer from 2011 to 2014, faculty teaching practice coordinator 2012 to 2014, members of the university timetable committee from 2011 to 2018, member of the best researcher of the year committee 2013 to 2016, chairman Al-Hikmah College of Advanced Studies Curriculum Planning Committee 2013. I was the managing editor Al-Hikmah Journal of Education from 2014 to 2018. Yes, I was the first director, Center for Diploma and JUPEP Studies, 2016 to 2020. We started with 80 students, and before I left office, we enrolled close to 1,000 students. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, I was also the chairman, Al-Hikmah University International School Establishment Committee in the year 2021. Member, Staff Committee, Disciplinary Committee in the year 2021. Member, Convocation Ceremony 2014 to 2020. Member, Academic Program from 2016 to 2020. I was actively involved in the Institute of Education in the year 2020. And Dean of Faculty of Education 6 consecutive years. 2018 to from 2018 to 2014. And the editor-in-chief and distinguished, one can safely submit that without inclusive management will only be operated in an illusion. Hence, attainment of total goals and objectives will be a mirage. Promoting inclusive management in Nigerian university is an endeavor at enhancing the quality of education, optimizing resources, and fostering innovation. Given the diverse challenges faced by the Nigerian university system, a comprehensive approach will address various aspects of its inefficiency through a synergy among the key stakeholders groups in university education management. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, esteemed invited guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I hereby put forward the following recommendations for implementation as a way of attaining inclusive university educational management for maximum efficiency. The visitor to the university, regulatory bodies, council members, and university management, among others, should implement the digitalization of administrative processes to streamline approval, admission, and procurement. This will minimize paperwork, simplify procedures, and enhance transparency. More funds should be allocated to Nigerian universities, especially targeted at improving infrastructure and facilities, such as classrooms, laboratories, libraries, and accommodation by the visitors to the universities. The Joint Admissions and Emancipation Board, JAM, should lay more emphasis on ensuring that the number of admitted students
align with the institution's carrying capacity. The federal government should include students from private universities in the student loan scheme in order to reduce dropout rates in these institutions. Private universities should be allowed to access state funds in order to increase infrastructural development and productivity of academic staff in these institutions. The University Governing Council should ensure that the required quantity of academic staff are recruited in various programs of the university on merit basis, so that the available ones will not be overutilized. The federal and state government should be proactive about the needs of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, HASU, and Student Union Government, SUG, in order to advise strike actions, thereby maintaining stable academic calendar in Nigerian universities. The NUC should require universities to make annual report on their internal quality assurance mechanism and audit accordingly in order to ensure compliance with the laid down standard procedure. The federal government should strengthen the capacity of the National University Commission by providing adequate manpower and logistical support to enable effective oversight of the 309 universities distributed across the 6 zones. The University Senate should adopt robust plagiarism software and systems to and prevent academic dishonesty in assignments, research papers, and student projects, dissertation, and thesis. No one can receive anything except what has been given from heaven. John chapter 3, verse 27. I give glory and honor to Almighty God for making today a reality in my career. May His name ever be. The lives of those who have made positive impact in my life, especially in my career, is too numerous to highlight. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, permit me to acknowledge the contributions of the following people. I sincerely appreciate my late father, Chief AKINNUBI, who passed on January 1985. I equally appreciate my late mother, Mrs. AKINNUBI, who also passed on 11 years ago. Thank you for the discipline instilled in me and your prayers that one day I will become a professor, which came to reality on October 1st, at Al-Hikmah University, Ilorin, Kwara State. I most sincerely appreciate the founder of Al-Hikmah University, Dr. Ibrahim Amao Oladimeji, OFR, Jagumodu of Ibadan, Arogudadi of Lagos, and Baba Oba of Ofa, for providing an enabling environment for me to strive. I also appreciate the wives of the founder, Alhaja Dr. Rashidat Modupe Oladimeji, Alhaja Silifat Oladimeji, and Alhaja Dikrat Kainde Oladimeji for their support. I sincerely appreciate Alhaja Sekinat Yusuf, the Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of the Governing Council, and other council members of Al-Hikmah University, Ilorin, for their contribution towards the development of the relevant. I appreciate Professor Latif Olorunso Oladimeji, the Vice Chancellor of Al-Hikmah University, and Haji Abalikis Modupe Oladimeji for the kindness, unwavering support, and immense assistance during my challenging period. I also appreciate Professor Sulaiman Age Karim, former Vice Chancellor, Al-Hikmah University, who approved my appointment to Al-Hikmah University Ilorin in November 2011. I thank Professor Taufik Ibrahim, former Vice Chancellor, Al-Hikmah University, for posting my paper for the rank of leader in education. I remain grateful to Professor Noah Yusuf, the immediate past Vice Chancellor, Al-Hikmah University, for announcing my promotion to the rank of leader in educational management with effect from the year 2019, and subsequently Professor of Educational Management with effect from the year 2022. Sir, let me
appreciation to other members of the university community, which include Dr. S.N. Nuruddin, DVC, Dr. K. Oladimeji, Registrar, other principal officers, Professor O.Y. Raji, Dean, Postgraduate Studies, and other members of the university community. I appreciate all the members of the inaugural lecture committee. They are Professor R.A. Lawal, Chairman, Dr. W.O. Salaudin, former Chairman, Professor L.A. Yaya, Dr. M.O. Abiola, Dr. A.S. Suleiman, Dr. A.T. Shola, Dr. Mrs. I. Wonola, M. Jamin, Dr. J.B. Ide, Dr. Q.O. Nuruddin, Dr. Mrs. H.B. Olodo. Mr. Vice Chancellor, permit me to show my appreciation to the acting Dean, Faculty of Education, Dr. Rashida Modupe Oladimeji, and other deans of faculties in Al-Hikmah University for their work. I sincerely appreciate the acting Dean, the acting head, Department of Educational Management and Counseling, Dr. Jamila Yusuf, and other heads of departments in the faculty. I appreciate Dr. Yusuf Suleiman and other lecturers and non-teaching staff in the Department of Educational Management and Counseling, Faculty of Education, Al-Hikmah University, Ilorin, for their support. I appreciate my teachers at primary and secondary schools, College of Education, Polytechnic, and University, who contributed immensely to what I am today. They are Professor A.Y. Abdulkarim, Professor Nike Y.S. Jaya, Professor D.O. Durosaro, Professor N.D. Oyedeji, Professor Y.A. Fasasi, Professor T. Alabi, Professor A.O. Kobolue, and others. I equally appreciate Professor A.S. Omasidi, Head, Department of Education, University of Ilorin, and other members of the department for their law. Also, Professor O.G. Olorisade, Department of Education, Kwara State University, Malete, and other members of the department. I thank all 9 members, Kwara State Chapter, for their support. I thank Professor Mustafa Olalekan Arike Uyo, Department of Management, Faculty of Education, Olabisi Onaba University, Agoiwoye, Ogun. I would like to express my gratitude to Abdulkarim. Supervise citation and PhD thesis. And consistent interest, truly inspiring, instrumental to prove to the Educational Management, Faculty of Education, Adek University, Ondo State, and other lecturers in the department for their kindness and their support. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, I appreciate Reverend T.O. Akange, SSA, Christian Religious Affairs, to the Executive Governor, Kwara State, the pastor in charge, UMCA, Holy Ghost, Summit, and other members of the congregation. Session of phase 2. Of my family, Ajayi Kayode Joseph, late Mrs. Ajayi Deborah Adejoke, and other members of the family. Mr. Chancellor, I thank my wife. Mrs. AKINNUBI. You have been the pillar of my success. Lovely children. Esther Olamide Moro Mubo. AKINNUBI Elizabeth Ayodeji. Oluwabukola. Sir. Gentlemen.
The inaugural lecturer will now present the lecture to the Vice Chancellor. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, that has been a wonderful presentation by the 7th inaugural lecturer of this great institution, and the first from the Faculty of Education, Professor Olaoluwa Paul AKINNUBI. Congratulations, sir, once again, and to your lovely family on this epoch-making event. Thank you. Please have your seat. Without further ado, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I will invite the Vice Chancellor once again to recognize and appreciate the distinguished guests and dignitaries from both the town and the gown who have taken out of their busy schedule to honor us here today. The Vice Chancellor.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we thank God that today was chosen as the date for the delivery of the 7th inaugural lecture. And we have been here and we have listened to the 7th inaugural lecturer. We have nothing other than to thank Almighty God, Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, who has given us today. And we congratulate the inaugural lecturer of today. Congratulations. Let me appreciate some individuals and guests to the university who are here to grace today's event. Without necessarily following a particular order, please permit me to recognize the following guests, in spite of the fact that all of us are very, very important for being here today. And I will begin from my predecessor in office, the 5th Vice Chancellor of Al-Hikmah University, Professor Noah Yusuf. You are most welcome, sir. We have in our midst Professor and Professor Mrs. Femi Durosharo. You are most welcome. Professor M.O. Arikewuyo, Department of Management and Faculty of Education, Olabisi Onabanjo University, Agowe. Our mother, Professor Mrs. N.Y.S. Ijaya, former member of Council of Al-Hikmah University. We have here today Professor R.A. Bayolawal. You are most welcome, sir. We have our father, Dayo A.Y. Abdul Karim. You are most welcome. We have Professor A.O. Shofolue here. You are most welcome, sir. Mrs. Olorutoba Oju, you are most welcome. A.T. Alabi, as Dr. Mrs. Akinde, Department of Management of Education, Education Management, Faculty of Education, Adekunle Ajasin University, Akungba Akoko, Ondo State. So, Mrs. Akinride, you are most welcome. Miss Okpeyemi Cecilia, sister to the inaugural lecturer, you are most welcome, ma'am. We appreciate Mrs. Izawola, Mrs. Adaramola, Mrs. Adewola, and Dr. Olonabo, the former principal of College of Education in the secondary school. We also want to appreciate Dr. Mrs. Amina Chiaga, Dr. Mrs. Zeko Bello, the first lady of the sea, as well as the Hajj and Engineer Bello. We appreciate you for being part of this very historic event of Al-Hikmah University. I want to appreciate specifically and most importantly the family of the inaugural lecturer, and begin with the mama of the house who has been recognized here, the wife of the inaugural lecturer, Mrs. Akinobi Oluwakemi Olabisi. The children, Akinobi Oluwakemi Samuel, Akinobi Esther Olamide, Akinobi Elizabeth Ayinofeji, Akinobi Dorcas Oluwa Ola, Akinobi Deborah Orolake. You are welcome. You are welcome. Thank you for taking care of them to be able to get to this level. We brought them to more successes by education in the world. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank everybody that has raised this occasion today, and we appreciate you to say Jazakumullahu khairan jazaa.
Professor Noah Yusuf, who started the tradition of inaugural lecture here at Alhikma University. It's nice to see you once again, sir. And congratulations for being one of the newest grandfathers in town, because it's going to prepare us all. I also want to appreciate the chairman of the Alhikma International, Al-Hikmah Yusuf.
Mariana Mia, Anima Mariana Mia, yeah. Mariana Mia, Anima Mariana Mia, yeah. Allow me, allow me, allow me, allow me. Man go the hustle every day, so wahala. There is no dignity in glorifying Sakpa. That's why no mean say make you go do pass your power. Hustle for the little kid, better pass fine barra. Allow me, my jackin sharu egbe. Láyé mi o, má jẹ́ kí n bá wọn ṣàṣẹ. Ṣàánú mi o lè má ló bọ́mọ jẹ́. Ọlọ́run mi o, àánú rẹ mo fẹ́. Ọlọ́run mi o, bless my soul. Ọlọ́run mi o, and my struggle. Ọlọ́run mi o, ọlọ́run mi o, and my table. Ọlọ́run mi o, bless my soul. Ọlọ́run mi o, and my struggle. Ọlọ́run mi o, ọlọ́run mi o, and my table. Lord, I know I'm fumble. Raise me high on the stable. I'm tired of their crumbles. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Every single man wanna live a life of his. Poverty the saying, similar to bliss. Sakba done to make men walk out with the bleeds. All for the good, the ego money, selling not a piss. Real hustlers, I know it's such a legend. Say a flow on saying happy ending. I know it's that time that we live in real hustlers. We never give in, this is my little admonition. Attitude can never be an option. Pray for guidance and redemption. This hustle needs God's intervention. Yeah, allow me, my jackin sharu at best. You know me, oh, Lord, you know me, oh. Allow me, my jackin sharu at best. Miami, oh, my jackin bow on shasha. Show me, oh, le my love, my jack.